Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. The reason you see me.
Tonight, breaking news. A music executive and a community activist wanted by the feds, accused of running a notorious South LA street gang, is now in custody. And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. Mike, some pretty serious allegations here.
Very serious allegations. And Pat, moments ago, we want you to know that he was taken into custody. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. We're talking here about Eugene Henley Jr., a 58-year-old man who is a music executive and a self-proclaimed community leader here in Los Angeles. The feds say he is actually the leader of a notorious South LA street gang accused in a series of very violent crimes, including murder. Earlier today, the United States Attorney's Office held a press conference announcing he was one of the few that they were still looking for connected to this large operation. They say moments ago he is now in custody being held by federal officials. He is accused of a murder back in 2021. He runs a music label, and according to the feds, he signed on a young aspiring rapper to record a song for them in a Las Vegas music studio. When that rapper then turned around and made a song, essentially a diss track against the duo, that, according to the feds, is when they traveled to Las Vegas, took him in the Nevada desert, and shot and killed him. There's a number of other crimes they're accusing him of, including RICO operations throughout the Southern California region. Tonight, the federal government says the fact that he claims he is a community leader.
Wow. Guys, man, listen, man, they got him. They done picked him up now. They say they arrested him for a gang investigation for murder. Let's talk about it. OG Pyru, you there?
Man, I told you.
They arrested him.
Black folks in California, we ain't got nowhere to go. We don't know how to go international. If you go to Mexico, you can't speak the language. They probably caught him in Inglewood.
Come on, OG. They ain't called him in no Inglewood. The man said he had been ducked out. He ducked off.
He ain't ducked that far. They got him the same day.
He said he wasn't gonna run. OG. He ain't running.
He can't run. Man, that big old man, they have surveillance of him every camera in the world. He couldn't get to San Diego today. He knew he had to turn himself in.
OG, how long have they been sitting on this information that they thought he had done this? This goes back to 2021. Then they start bringing up.
Back before they base it back to 2021. He's been under surveillance all the time. When people start implicating him on Nip's murder, when Nipsey Hussle got killed, and he was working with Grid, and as long as he was a team player for the LAPD, he was all right. When he stopped providing information, and them others start getting paychecks, Iraq 100 and the other guys working for the feds, and now they went on a smear campaign for the last 3 years, calling him this and that. So they were just building up, compiling information. And they got the 10 people that they needed. Oh, you think YSL or something? Watch all these people be telling and testifying. The other two that they arrested, now they say Big U, he's facing a life sentence. But the other two, Robinson and Marks, they only facing 20 years. So you think they're not gonna give some information?
Wow, I'm because there's somebody probably already been talking to these people, telling them everything that's going on, telling them what they've already sat down with people, I believe, before now.
Man, these dudes, I told you before, these cats are so loose on the lips talking on the phone. He did it to himself virtually. I talked to one of my boys out of Milwaukee earlier today, was just telling me how reckless he was talking on the golf course in front of white folks. You're like, man, the man had no filter. So you put this stuff and get to saying these things and believing that white America is not recording everything you say. You're threatening people, extorting them. They turn your conversation into a right-out bounty, bro. Wow.
It's just, it's unfortunate that a young man lost his life in 2021.
But they've been losing their life every day, and it was unfortunate he got tied up with a situation. And it's unfortunate the way the things that Big U did in the community trying to balance out what he did bad, it did not weigh enough to keep him out of the situation. You know?
When you look at the readings that I've been reading over, it talks about them going to Las Vegas. It talks about Big U allegedly going all the way to Vegas, getting, into an argument with this kid about a diss track. Same thing the news just reported on. Then after that, he leaves. They leave early in the morning and come back, and he's drenched in sweat or some. This is what they were saying in the reading. Like they had it to a T. The Airbnb was left. The studio was left. He got back to the studio. Some surveillance tapes was pretty much apprehended by, they're saying Big U, so that they couldn't see him. It's all kind of stuff being said, man, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, but it's being said somebody gave them detailed information, because if they had saw that in 2021, they would have arrested him on a murder in 2021. To arrest him in 2025, people been tattletaling.
Wow.
Tattling on that man.
When you look at
getting rid of him.
Big U arrested for gang investigation. Why is that a way of saying the RICO when you got so many different people? This indictment held, how many people did you read earlier that it had?
10. He makes number 11 that they've indicted. These are the first 10 that they've indicted since Monday.
Do you think there'll be more?
Oh yeah. Two of the 10 were already in custody, and they brought them over to federal custody for talking on the phone conversation.
Wow, man, it ain't no telling how deep this goes, And
man,
for him to he called out WAC 100, 600 and loose cannon earlier on that live, before he was arrested.
It was too late.
What was that about? Why would he even?
Now he called himself snitching on them to the public. It ain't gonna help him. They already done made deals with the feds.
And some of the guys that he had spoke on are locked up with him, right?
Yeah, Loose Cannon and 600 allegedly were arrested too. So, but sometimes, with the CIs, they arrest them with everybody else.
Just to give it a look.
Give it a look. Oh, they got a Brick Baby. They got a Loose Cannon. So, oh man, homie must not have been. And he go out. He leaving MDCLA out the back door tonight. That's just like Jimmy the Cricket. They had already called Jimmy the Cricket and told Jimmy the Cricket that they had arrested Brick Baby. He got on the internet hooping and hollering like, well, yeah, I did this. He already knew that man was locked up.
Wow. Man.
He never said nothing. The first time Jimmy the Cricket ran his mouth was yesterday. And amazingly, you find out this morning Brick Baby is locked up. What kind of coincidence is that?
And then when you look at the way they're heading this on, one of the guys that was coming a while ago, he said the Crip been cripped. Like one of the commentators, they're really aiming this toward gangs and trying to, basically focus in on that portion of it. They keep saying the Rolling 60s, the leader of the Rolling 60s. Have this something that they practice all the time, OG, when it comes down?
See, yeah, this go back to the 80s. For after COINTELPRO in the 80s, they have a program called Operation Weed and Seed. Now, this is just another example of them taking an OG out of the 60 Crips and planting some more seeds in there. You don't know who's in there. These youngsters coming up, all of them is federal informants or work for the police. You think they're the OGs and they got money and you don't even know where they come from.
Wow.
Just like this internet, you can be anybody you want to be.
Wow. And like I said, you could see the just the frustration on his face that showed that, hey man, I got to go down here and face this fire, and I think that's something, You know, he wasn't gonna try to run. He
And he taking the coward way out. The catching come before
Oh,
the
gee, what the heck is you saying?
man. What you giving up for now?
If something happened to him and somebody they looking for him, he could get killed or anything trying to deal with that man.
Oh, so now we ain't straight?
Oh, gee, he don't want to face up against the police like that.
Man, if you dance to the music, you gotta pay to the piper. Oh, wait a minute. We got a saying in the street, man. I'll hold court in the street, but you see when them Yankees come down, they don't want to hold court, huh?
No, Big U is not trying to do that. He don't want to do that, man. No, he gonna have to sleep on one of them bunks, one of them cots tonight. Put on that jumpsuit,
a little bitty one.
and to go from how he was living to going to that cot tonight, that's a big change for him, man.
A big change.
That's the part right there. OG, how you can remember going to that cell for the first time, like going there and having to lay down, but you were young, see, you didn't care. Hell.
I went in that cell when I was 9. By the time I got going, I was used to it. So my first arrest, I was 9 years old. So it ain't that I ain't never been rich enough to even. I wouldn't go now for nothing. I'll tell on everybody. I'll let you know. I ain't going to jail for nobody. I'm a tell. I'm a snitch. Sure.
You ain't going back no more, OG.
No, at all. I'll tell on a friend instead of doing 10.
Oh man, OG, I know better than that. Let me ask you this: a big U tonight, man. He calls out 600. He calls out whack 100. He calls out loose cannon. Some of these guys are supposed to be locked up. So when they get them in there, they separate them and they put them in different places so they can try to disguise the truth and the lie. Right.
Right.
Try to frustrate them enough to get the information they need out of them. Right.
Yeah, they gonna separate them out with MDCLA. Ain't got but 6 floors. Well, actually 5 floors, from the 6th floor to the 9th floor. You know, so they probably take a couple of them out to Santa Ana County Jail. That's a federal holdover. But they'll be sitting up in MDCLA. You know, like I said before, if Big U really had any gangster about him right now, do not waive no time. Do not have an attorney telling you to waive time, and we got to get to go in court, plead. See, people don't understand. There's 3 pleas that you can take. If you're guilty, you say you're guilty, and you have the consequences. Not guilty is saying, I didn't do it, but I know who did. Now
Okay.
They got a 3rd plea is saying, I never knew a crime was committed, right? I can't make a plea, guilty or not guilty, because I didn't know a crime was committed. At that time, the judge looks at your case, and when he looks at your case, most of the time when you go to arraignment, they don't have no paperwork. The police ain't got no paperwork on you. So when the judge looks at the paperwork, he don't see nothing on it. But you know what he's gonna do? The court is gonna find you not guilty. I'll beat a case like that.
Wow.
Because when I went to jury trial, my attorney says, well, Judge Leahy, Mr. Kinsey said that he did not understand what was going on and he never knew a crime was committed. And Judge Leahy concurred when he looked at his file and said he was not guilty. The jury said that weighed a lot on my whole case.
Wow. Well, OG, I'm just gonna say this, man. Guys, it's official like a referee with a whistle. Big U is in a lot of trouble. And those 10 other guys that was arrested today. And I just say, guys, get in the comments. Let us know, guys, what you think about this. And do you agree with OG again that they need to go ahead and resolve quickly and try to figure out a way to get itself out of this situation, or either whatever's going to take place, let it happen. Let us know what you think. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He, the reason you see me.